Alright guys, these are with Chatham Mortgage Partners on video 6, and this one's going to pretty much give you advice on the documents we need. And it's very important to gather these documentation so that way we can get you pre-qualified smoothly and fast, right? You want to make sure that you gather these documents, or at least prepare and be ready and know exactly what's needed from you, so that way when it's time, you know that, you know what, I have the documentation, email it over, it's been scanned, has it been properly put together, so that way we can analyze it and provide you the information needed as soon as possible. And within that information is obviously the pre-qualification stage. We want to make sure with this documentation that you provide us, we can really look through everything thoroughly and make sure that we have any questions, we can ask them and make sure that you can get qualified if you're able to, right? If not, then we would put you on a plan and prepare for that future day when you're going to be able to buy. So let's go over the documentation we're going to need. So we're preparing to buy, the required documents, right? Gather before applying to save time. So that's important. Gather these documents before applying to save time. The information below may be requested when you apply for your home loan. Additional information may be required. So these are the most basic documentation you're going to need when applying for a home loan. They probably will need more information or documentation depending on your situation. Every situation is different, so it's tailored to that client. So obviously, you know, you're going to need a copy of your ID or license, right? You're also going to need probably a copy of your social. Those are two documentations or form of identification that are important to the bank to make sure that you are who you say you are. Number two, federal tax returns. We're going to need at least 2 years tax returns, because this is going to be an actual conventional product or it can be a government product. You will need 2 years tax returns. All right, I know you've probably seen other videos that we talk about. There's probably other documentation. You probably don't need these documents. True, but when you're a first-time home buyer, you're trying to buy your first home and you're limited with cash you're putting down and maybe FICO score and other variables, this is the programs that we're actually talking about. This is for first-time home buyers. Number three, you will need the last 2 years W-2s. Very important. Your tax returns and your W-2s. So don't, just because you send me your tax return doesn't mean that I want your W-2s. There's things and variables in those taxes and W-2s that I need to look at to compare. Number four, we're gonna need pay stubs. At least 30 days of pay stubs. So pretty much the 2 most recent paycheck stubs that you received, we're gonna need them. A lot of times you probably don't get them, or maybe you get an email, or maybe you throw them out. It's very important to now start gathering them all together, or at least the last 2, to make sure that when you send it to us, you have all the proper documentation needed. Number 5, you're going to need your 2 most recent bank statements. The bank statements are going to reflect the actual down payment. If you're going to be able to provide the down payment from your actual account, we're going to need that documentation. Number 6, if you're buying a home, obviously, when you go into contract, we're going to need the purchase agreement. Those are documents that we can get directly from your agent or through escrow, so you don't have to worry about that, but we're just adding them because that's the process, right? And last but not least, you're going to need copies of your asset statements, award letters, rental lease agreement, homeowner's insurance, and mortgage statements if applicable. That refers more to people that want to refinance. For now, we're just focusing on people that want to purchase. So if you have any retirement accounts, those are all compensating factors. Or assets helps the bank provide more of an approval, a more streamlined approval, because it shows that you're a stronger, credible, more responsible borrower, right? So these are all the basic documentation we're going to need. Depending on what type of loan you're applying, obviously we'll tailor it, because you could be a VA. That's a whole different story. You might need other documentation. But again, shoot me an email or a scenario. And if you are trying to apply for VA or you're a veteran, then we could definitely guide you through the same process and provide the documentation needed. This is strictly just for conventional and FHA. These are the basic documentation. But again, you're always free to reach out to me if you have any questions.